Good morning and welcome to One Yard Wednesday. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to One Yard Wednesday. I'm Jody, your host. I'm here with my amazing producer, Mr. KP. We have a guest with us also today.
Got a coming up producer. Say hi to Shade.
Say hi to Shade. We're excited to have him.
Get to see a new face now.
Yeah. So if you're new to One Yard Wednesday and you don't really know what we do, this is where we bring you fantastic fabric at a really, really great price. So you don't have to rush off to try to grab what we have because the fabrics will be live after the show. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. And if you want to make sure you see us every week, like, comment, give us some hearts. Make sure you comment throughout the show.
Subscribe, do all those fun things.
The other thing that we want to mention is you'll want to go over to our YouTube channel and subscribe because the videos on Facebook delete after 30 days, so you won't be able to go back and look at our older lives. So everything will be saved on our YouTube channel. So go ahead and take a look at that.
Especially for those Tipsy Tuesdays, definitely nice to go back.
Yep, for sure. So I have a question today. So my question today is, what was the most challenging technique? What did you do about it? And did you learn something?
Quilting technique.
Quilting technique, sorry. Not like
any technique.
Any technique. So for me, I'm not sure this is a technique, but it's something I always remember doing. I wanted to do a one block wonder. And all I had was a book. And a one block wonder is where you take one piece of fabric and you cut it up. And it turns into like these hexes. I should have put a picture on there. I forgot to put a picture on there. Anyways, the first one I did, there's all these different ways that you have to do it. It was awful. I could not figure out how to do it. I was just struggling really, really hard. So that one actually went in the garbage. But I was determined to figure this out. So I went on YouTube, which, by the way, we live in the most amazing era right now where we could find out anything we want on YouTube or Google.
Oh, yeah.
And I watched a video and I went for it again. And it was better, but not perfect. So needless to say, I've done about 3 or 4, and now I think I have the hang of it. But I just kept at it because it was something I really, really wanted to master, and it had been on my list of things to do. So
you have to get a picture for us to show next
week.
week.
I will. Actually, that's a good idea. I didn't even think to do that. So let's talk about our quilts because I forgot to mention
Time out. My quilting technique.
How dare I?
I've only done one thing. When we were in Madison for the quilt show, I made a can koozie.
You did not.
I did.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, I don't know, there's some fabric around. I might as well. We were all hanging out, having a few drinks.
Quilting and drinking, I don't know.
Yeah, the first one didn't work, but the second one turned out a little bit better.
How did I forget to go to you, Kobe? Like, how could that happen?
Well, that's fair. I don't think Geesley has anything, or GP has anything. So.
All right. Well, I love that you at least tried, so I think that's awesome.
I tried.
Did it turn out?
The second one, I mean, turn out is a good.
Well, could you use it?
Yes, I did.
Well, then that's all that matters. That's all that matters.
It was a little loose, but I have to figure out, what is it? Seams allowance.
Seam allowance.
I got to figure out seam allowance.
Yep. That actually is the hardest thing when you first start sewing is to get your seam allowance. Once you figure that out, everything else.
Does it have to be pretty consistent and the same for it all to turn out good?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
so if you use not a 1/4 inch seam allowance, but let's just say you have a larger seam allowance, as long as you use the same one throughout your entire project,
it'll work out.
It should work out. So
all
stay consistent. I think I watched a Jenny Doan video that said, if you do it wrong, just stay wrong consistently.
If you do it wrong, continue doing it wrong.
I know that's hard for us quilters out there in the world, but be consistent is the motto of the day. So. Quilts on set.
Now we can do quilts on set.
Thank you. Thank you for keeping me on track. So behind Mr. GP.
HP or KP.
Oh,
I can't even remember my own name.
You know what? I just want to call you by your names because this whole
P thing?
Does not work for me. So behind Kobe is Haldora out of the Quilts of Iceland. I love the quilting. I don't know if you guys can really see the quilting on this one, but it is amazing. And so when you do that denser quilting on it, it really brings out the quilt, the pattern on the quilt much more.
I like when it's kind of denser quilting because then it feels a little bit more like sturdy.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Or like looks like it is.
Yeah, for sure. And then behind me is Lilo, and we do have kind of a theme going on here today, and we have something kind of special. So Lilo is behind me, and that's out of the Stripology Quickies book, and you'll know what I mean once we start showing fabric here. And then let's get right to it because we have a ton of stuff. We decided to switch it up a little today. We had some basics we were going to show you, and I thought, let's do something different. Let's try something different today. So we are actually going to show you a bundle. It's called Winged Medley. And I just love this, and I think it goes super well with our basics that we have, Dimples. So the first print I have is this florally print. It's got more of a brown background, so it's not black. It might be showing a little bit black on the screen. And then it has these really bold teals and some fuchsias and oranges in it. This is a really great focal print. And then I'm going in color order so you can kind of see how the transition works. The next one we have is kind of this, like, I don't know, like a diamond shape or crosshatch with a little bit of a flower that's kind of centering that teal, orange, and like a little bit of yellow in that.
You want to hold that one up to the camera?
Yeah.
See if they can see the flower a little bit.
So you could kind of see how that kind of sets off those teal lines. And then we have, at least two basics in this bundle. We have, I think this is Halcyon, if I remember correctly. And this is more of a brown, like a chocolate brown in there. So you can kind of see it's got some texture in there. It's got this light color brown in there, and then the darker colors. It really, really plays well with the fabric. And then we're moving over to the teals. You know, it's teals and aquas. Like, everybody has their way of deciding what's what. I feel like this is kind of an, I don't know, aqua teal. And then it has these motifs in the center, which is really great if you want to do some fussy cutting on this. Now, when you're fussy cutting fabric that doesn't give you a ton of space, you are going to lose some of your fabric. But I think it's really fun to kind of play around with these main prints.
I got a question real quick.
Yes, everything I'm showing you today is on sale. That's why it's going to be very special, because
big show, lots
of fabric, and lots of really great prices. So thank you, Marilyn, for bringing that up. Here is another aqua with a light. These prints are in like a light colored aqua. It's not white. So that's a really nice accent piece. And then we have this one. This is a really fun piece. These little florals in there, and it's got the fuchsia, it's got the orange, and some of this little yellow in it. It really brings out the colors in the rest of the fabric. And then, of course, we have to have some of this pink fuchsia in there. So this one has the florals, like it's kind of like a floral motif with the light pink in it. And then we also have this print, which was in the aqua, in the hot pink. And then this one actually has the orange in it. It kind of accent that. And then we move over to orange, another print with the orange that has the floral in kind of that round motif area. So it really plays off of all of these fabrics. And then this one is another basic that we have, which is going to bring out the orange colors in this fabric, but this is a lighter color orange, so it's really nice if you want to do some accents with that. And then we have this really unique butterfly. And this one is going to showcase the yellows. And you just have these really cool butterflies with all of the different colors, the greens and the aquas. And they are kind of tossed. I would say this is kind of tossed, so you could cut this up and not worry about being straight. And then we have this kind of yellowish green with these, it's got the same design as this fuchsia color, which kind of rounds off the bundle. So this is called, remind me, Winged Garden.
I was going to say, earlier you said Winged Medley, but
oh, I
Winged
did.
Garden.
I'm sure I did. I'm sure I got it.
We got one question.
These are half yards, correct. These are half yards. So we have this in half yards.
We 12-piece bundle too.
12-piece bundle. We also have it in fat quarters. This is why I said it's a special show. And we have it in the littles bundle. So all of these are on sale, you guys. So it's amazing. So you get a half yard bundle, you can get a fat quarter bundle, and you can get a littles bundle. But I'm not done. I'm not done yet.
Not done yet.
Not done yet.
The little bundle is just a little bit bigger than a fat eighth, right?
Yes. Yep. It's kind of like having a 5-inch square, but you get way more.
Like a charm pack.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that was the thing. I think you get 48 squares rather than the regular 42.
Exactly. So then we also have some 1-yard cuts. So I'm going to show you those. We have 1-yard cuts in the floral, which is this one, the aqua. The light tender twig work is what the print is called. We have 1 yards in the midnight essence.
Good morning, Mr. HP.
Good morning. We also have 1 yards in this golden cream radiant, which is this print right here. We have 1 yards in the golden gleam fluttering, which is the butterfly. This is so awesome. And then we have 1 yards in the Siesta Grace Flora, which is this orange print. And Pink Petal Dewdrop, which is this one. We have 1 yards and 3 yards. So this one you could use to do your backing with. So if you're going to do backing, you're going to need at least, depending on your project, 2 3-yard bundles. Okay, so keep that in mind. And then not only do we have these 1 yards, but now we have our fabric pull. So I pulled all of our dimples that we have that goes with this line. I'm just going to move these around a little bit. And the first one I'm going to show you is kind of playing off of this green color that's in here. It's a light green. It's called Dimples Tarragon Green. And so this is a really great fabric to use to kind of bring out the greens in the line. We also did Dimples Corn Husk. And this one we're playing off of the yellows. These are great basics either to use in your project or you could just have them in your collection at home. I tend to have tons of basics in my collection so that I could just pick out a main piece and pull out of my collection. So we have this yellow. We then have some oranges. So we got this bright orange called Sinopia from Dimples. So in here, you can see there's some different color oranges, and this will help bring out some of those brighter, darker oranges. And then we also have Persimmon, which is going to bring those lighter color oranges out. So you have lots of options. And then, though there isn't a ton of like light pink in this line, there are some where you can play off of the light pink in here. You're also showing an accent against this fuchsia. So that would go really, really well. And then the dark teal is another really good one to use. And it will just play off of these teal colors. You could use these as sashing. You can use it as binding, borders, anything like that. And then because the background on these main prints is more of a brownish color or like not a chocolate brown, but a black brown, I pulled out the Dimples Cafe Noir because that would make really great borders, sashings, bind the quilt on that, use it as an accent.
I think I saw a question earlier about the crosshatch and then asking if it was kind of more of a brown, and yes, I would say it is.
Yes, it's definitely more of a brown, like a black brown.
Yeah.
I don't know what the right word is to say. There's a little bit of green in it, not a ton, which works really well with this line. And then I picked some lighter colors to use, and these 3 prints you can use as backgrounds. You could use as sashings. You can even use them inside your quilt. But I have a gray, and I know that this might seem weird, but I think it would work really, really well to use in sashings and borders. It's called Dimples Dark Gray. I tend to really love using these things as backgrounds too. And then I have the Taffy Tan, which is more of like plays kind of really well off of this print right here. It's got a little bit of green, a little bit of yellow. Again, this would make a great background. And then we also have the Dimples Gray. Now this, it says it's gray, but it really reads kind of like a tan or a cream. So don't be afraid of the name. This would work really well as like a background, a teal and a green. So that is our pull for today. Are you excited about this? Come on, Mr. Baby.
I know I am.
I am. I love this. I think it's fun. I was excited that we were going to do something different. So you've got a 12-piece half-yard bundle. You have a fat quarter bundle. And we have a littles bundle.
I love this fabric.
It's so fun.
A lot of it is like just stuff I would not, or colors I would not put together.
Yeah, it was really fun for me to take some stuff and like pick it out. And we have 1 yard. Sorry.
I can go to overhead.
Yes, thank you. We have 1, 2, 6 1 yards. We have one of those prints that's going to be in a 3-yard cut, so you can actually use this for your backing of your project. And then we have all of these Dimples basics to use as your project fillers. So speaking of project fillers, something I've been doing since I've started doing this is I pick out projects that I think will go really well with this fabric. And of course, the one behind me, Mr. Lilo, is done with this fabric line, so I had to bring that out. But you can use, in here we have a grunge, like a white grunge. You could definitely use this as a background for this project. If you wanted to go a little darker, you could use the brown. It just really depends on your look you're looking for. Or you could use this one, or anything that you have in your stash as the background.
I was going to say, with that kind of grayish one, it would turn out more like mine, I would assume.
Exactly. So Haldora is using the same line, only the background is darker, which I love so much of that. I love doing the darker backgrounds. It really makes that fabric pop. So definitely you could use the gray Dimples.
I really like it. I think it
as the background
makes everything pop so much more.
For sure. And then the other one I brought out, you could go to the overhead, is JoJo. And I picked this one, well, number one, because we use this fabric in it, so that's great. But it's a really perfect quilt for using up a bundle. So you could use your entire bundle in here. You don't have to add anything else to it. And you could create JoJo. It's a great, fast project. And that one is in the Stripology Mixology 2 book. And then, of course, I have to add some small projects because I think this 2025 year is all about small projects. So,
as in Little Bundle Club.
As in Little Bundle Club. Everybody wants to get their projects done quick, as in quickies. So we have Little Katie. And this one I picked out because it was bright and it had a lot of prints in it. Because this fabric line has a lot of prints in it, I thought it would work really, really well in this pattern.
That one's very summery.
I love that one.
It
reminds me of Picnic.
And
then we have Little Mia. Again, you could use an entire bundle, little bundle if you wanted to, in here, and you wouldn't have to add anything else to it. You would have your entire project done with this one. So this is Little Mia. And then I try to do a quilt as you go because a lot of people want to have their projects done when they're done. Like they don't want to have to worry about quilting it or anything. So Quilt As You Go projects are really, really fun for that. And this is called Skinny Mini. And I thought it was really fun. I love the name of it. As you can see, you've got some strips going this way, and then it's kind of outlined with like a triangle or a diamond shape around that. So another really great project that you can use on the cover of Skinny Mini. You can see that it's done in these neutrals, but also done in the bright colors, which would work really well with this fabric line. So don't be afraid to get kind of crazy with it. So let me show you. Don't go away, Mr. KP. I'm just going to show you the books. So the Quilts of Iceland has Haldora in it. And if you guys have not picked up one of Gudrun's like books like this, Quilts of Iceland, Christmas in Europe, you're missing out because she does a fantastic job with all of the photos in here. She puts recipes and she puts drink recipes, and the photography in these books are outstanding. So Haldora is in this book. And by the way, this is another thing you could use your clips for, is marking your books when you want to save your patterns that you want to work on. So Haldora is behind Mr. KP, and that is using this bundle plus the dark background. So that is in the Iceland, Quilts of Iceland.
I'm sure most of you guys know, but even if, well, of course we want you to be into stripology, but even if you don't stripologize your quilts, there's regular instructions in each of our books too.
Yes. See, Mr. KP, come on.
I try.
You're the greatest. So JoJo is actually in the Stripology Mixology too. I have been like digging deep into these books for some reason. I'm just loving all kinds of stuff.
For sure.
Yeah, so JoJo is the other one. So if you're interested in that one, it's Stripology Mixology 2. And then of course we've got Lilo, which is behind me. And that one is out of the Stripology Quickies book. Again, another book that if you haven't picked this up yet, you're missing out. Lots of quick projects. The best part about this book that I love is that it is a skill builder. So she set it up so that you start from the easiest and you go to the hardest. Now, when I say harder, that does not mean it's hard. It just means that it's a little harder than the one you did before. So it's a really nice way if you're looking to get to know your ruler. You could use this entire book and you would be a complete expert by the time you get done. So that's Stripology Quickies. And the littles that we have are Katie. So that's Katie using 5-inch squares. So any of our littles patterns will work with our littles bundles. I feel like I have all kinds of stuff happening here. So you could pick up our littles bundles and use those with any of it. Yes. Gudrun's books are worth every penny. You're absolutely right. And then we have Little Mia, which again could work with our little bundles, 5-inch squares, and Skinny Mini, which is our Quilt As You Go pattern. So if you're looking for something that when you're done sewing it, it is completely done and you can use it or give it away, our Quilt As You Go patterns are fantastic for that.
I also said little bundle club for quick projects. I meant little pattern club.
Little pattern club.
Yes, and that's coming up pretty soon. The
yes.
price is going to go up too.
Yes, yes. On Friday, she's showing the first one. Mm-hmm. So be ready, you guys. Yep. I guess we need to show our notion today.
I think we do. We got a notion.
We've got a notion. So my notion for today is something that we never want to actually use, but it is a necessity in our little world of quilting, and that is the seam ripper. I think Gudrun calls this Jack, which I think is kind of familiar. So I am showing the Gypsy Quilter seam ripper. I just said this morning, I literally have a case of these. When I say a case, there's like 12 in a case.
But you can never find it?
And I can never find any of them, right? I love these. Now, one of the reasons I love them is the size. It's bigger, so I have kind of manly hands, so it's really nice for me to grab onto. Some of those ones you get in your like sewing machine, they're like this big. Like literally this big. Mr. KP, this big.
I believe you.
Who can use that?
Not me.
Nobody. So I really love this one. It's super sharp at the point. It does have the ball for protection. It's got grippies on the top, so it's really easy to hold on to. But the piece I love the most about this is this rubber grip here. And it also has it on the end. And I call it my eraser, my thread eraser. So I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So whenever you are seam ripping, so I have a couple different, if you can, yeah, zoom in a little bit, sorry. You're always going to have these threads left behind. So when you're seam ripping, for me, it's really hard to grab those. So I usually seam rip and then I just pull up. Have you guys seen that? So when you're ripping the seams, you can just do the front and then you tip it over and pull it up. But see how hard it is for me to grab those? So all you got to do, either side, whether it be the bottom side of this or the top, and you just use this as an eraser and your threads are gone. Otherwise, you're sitting here going like this the whole time, trying to pick them up.
I might have to get myself one of those.
I know, isn't that cool?
When I'm taking pictures, I feel like I gotta pull off so many little
yes,
threads.
we're not really good about taking those off. But the other thing I really love this for is when you are using the long arm and you don't like your stitching and you need to take your stitching out, that is when you see you leave behind a ton of little pieces of thread, and then you can just go like this with it and it pulls it out. So you're not having to climb underneath your long arm, that kind of thing. So I really love them. So we have 3 colors. We have the purple, the teal, and the pink. Let's see if Mr. KP knows me. Which one would I pick?
The blue.
No, purple.
Oh, I feel like you did say that. That's your favorite. I knew that.
You did know that. So those are our seam ripper, or our notion for today. You guys, we had so much to show you today, and I'm just going to do a quick review of our fabrics so that you can see it again and be reminded about all of it. It will be live as soon as we end the show, so I'm going to quit talking really fast so you can get there and buy it.
Shopping.
Exactly. So let's go through our fabric super fast. So we have Winged Garden. I'm going to move all this out of the way. And we have this 12-piece bundle. And in the 12-piece bundle, you're getting some main fabrics. And, you know, when I first started sewing, I used to just pick a main fabric, and then I would pick all the different fabrics to go with it because I didn't know color. Well, we've already done all that for you, so you just need to buy the bundle. And we have like a hexie or a diamond-shaped fabric that has the teal and the little flower in there. We have a basic, which is more of a brown. So keep in mind, this is not black. It's more of a brown in the background. We've got the aqua floral, which has this really fun motif. We've got the aqua basic that has this little sort of flowery in there. We've got this really cool tulip. I think it looks like a tulip to me. Fancy tulip. We have the fuchsia, 2 fuchsia colors. We've got the one with the light pink in the background. We've got this same print as this, but it has the orange. We have the orange in the motif, which has the daisies in there. A second basic, which is pulling out some of that light orange. This really cool butterfly print that brings out all of the yellow. And then we have this kind of green yellow print that will kind of coincide with the rest of those. Now, not only do we have this one on sale, but we also have the Fat Quarter Bundle and the Littles Bundle on sale. Apologize, I lost the print here. On sale. All of these are on sale. Can I say that one more time? They're all on sale.
It's all on sale.
It's all on sale. And then we also have 1 yards. So these are all going to be 1 yard cuts, which are on sale, which is separate from the actual fabric in the bundle. These are all 1 yards. And then we have this one as a 3 yard cut. So this one you could use as backing. if you're going to buy this as a backing, you need at least 2 3-yard cuts, okay? Unless you need more, then you got to buy more. And then we have all of the basics that go with this line. So we've got all the dimples in the different colors that go with the line. You have an already made project here. You just have to get this in there. And then the projects we have, I've got Skinny Mini, which is your quilt as you go, which would be fantastic for using this line. You can see in the cover that we used it in these bright colors. It works really well. Or you can do the neutrals. We have Little Mia. Because it uses an entire bundle, you can go ahead and buy the little bundle and you have this entire project and ready to go. And the same with Katie, little Katie. We have this, you could buy one little bundle and maybe you want to pick up a stripe to do the border, the binding on there, and your project is complete. We have 3 more prints that I forgot to put out there. We have JoJo. So JoJo is out of the Stripology Mixology 2 book. Again, this is done with an entire bundle. So you just need the bundle. Pick out some sort of like binding. You can pick out that purple fuchsia color to do for your backing if you wanted to. And then behind Mr. KP, we have Haldora. You could pick up the gray for the background and do that. There's a stripe on that border. Pick up a stripe. Is it seedling?
This one's seedling behind me.
Seedling is not on sale, you guys.
No, it's not.
And then behind me, we have Lilo, which is in the Stripology Quickies Club. So lots of projects for you to use with this fabric. Lots of fabric for you to decide on. And thank you so much for joining us. So this week we have Happy Friday coming up on Friday, which is the 11th at noon. We're just going to show the first Littles pattern,
Yep.
which is really exciting. And she's also going to be showing some of our shop partner samples, which will be fun to see. Then we have So Great Saturday
Woo woo.
with our superstars, Mr. GP, KP, and then
Nancy.
And Nancy. We cannot forget Nancy because
No.
she's the glue that holds that show together. Tipsy Tuesday on April 15th at 4 p.m. And then back here on Wednesday, the 16th at 9:30 with me and Mr. KP.
And you actually, next week, we have a 4-show week with Perfect Pair.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about Perfect Pairing. My goodness.
And that one's kind of tough. It comes up quick every month.
It does come up quick every month. So that'll be awesome. I know that we're excited to have Nancy back for that show. She had to miss the last one, so it'll be fun to see Kara and Nancy back on next Thursday. Okay, guys. I know it was a lot. Thank you for joining us.
Jody's got to go take a nap
Yep.
now.
We will
was
see
a
you
long
next
show.
week. Bye. Have a good day.
Bye, everybody.